Hi, welcome back to our channel, Bilingualing, where we're just a bilingual homeschool family doing our thing. And I am so glad that you're here with me today because I will be sharing with you how I plan a unit study. So follow along. Okay, so there's a couple of things that I do first. First, I gather all the supplies that or resources that I can find. I looked through Teachers Pay Teachers online. I went through my homeschool or home library and I pulled out all the books that had to do with our unit study, which is insects. Our first unit study will be all about insects. So I pulled books about that. And then I also pulled from workbooks and resources that I already had and looked through and see if there was anything related to insects. Also, I have just a journal where I will be writing down any ideas, and then I also use the template, the unit study planner from Raising A through Z. She is a homeschool mom. She's also on YouTube, and she provides these, and they're free. The template is completely free. If you hear that, that's my planner acting up. Okay, so that's very useful. So if you want to, don't know where to start, this is a good way to start. I will link her channel below, and I will also add a link to her website, and that's where you can download this. All right, so I have that. And before I start showing you my plans, I want to show you the resources because this is what I do. First, I look at the resources. That way I can get ideas of activities or, certain things that I want to cover because I will not be able to cover every single insect or everything about insects in one unit study. So I'm just going to look and see what I do want to hit in our unit study. Okay, so let me show you some of the things I found. I'm super excited about these cards. Okay, you see that? Let me show you another one. Okay, so look at that one. Okay, I have several insect ones that I have here, and my kids already wrote on my toddler already wrote on them, but they wrote on the bag, not on the card, so they're good. So do you see that? And I really like these cards because they have the actual images, they have the labels in English and in Spanish. And I was super excited because it is so hard to find Spanish resources that this was perfect. So let me show you. This is from a homeschool mom. She has a channel here on YouTube. Her channel is Home Dulce Home. I will also link her Etsy shop where you can find these that I'm showing you right now. So you have the cards with the images, the names, and they also have a description on the back. And the description is in English and in Spanish. I really like that she also included just the pictures by themselves with the numbers and then the labels. That way they can, put them together. So this was really cool. And these are cards about life cycles. And then I also found this in Amazon that I'm super excited because we're going to be raising butterflies. The kids can't wait. So we're going to use this. This came with a little life cycle butterfly life cycle model. So you'll see that. Those that they can manipulate. So we're going to be using these. And because I found these resources, I know that in my unit study, I will want to hit the life cycle of a butterfly. So I know that we're going to be focusing on that. Now, one of my favorite things to share, I'm going to share all the books that I found that have something related to insects. I like to choose fiction and nonfiction books because I want them to be exposed to both types of literature. And here's one. If you haven't read this one, it's hilarious. You should totally get it. And it's just basically about a little butterfly and how she learns that she has to be patient to be able to turn it into a butterfly. All right, so that one. I also have this one. This is a nonfiction with a lot of images, insects. There you go. So I'll have that, and then I have some bugs. I also found this in Amazon, and it's a little book with activities. So it has information about them, but then it also has activities for them to do. So for that, I have this one that I found. Another one about bugs. All of these are awesome books. This is another nonfiction one. And I tried to find books that were easy for my kiddos, for both of my kiddos, because I have a 7-year-old and a 9-year-old. So I wanted to get books that were, accessible for both of them. So this is another one about butterflies. So I found a lot of things on butterflies that I already had. So that's a main focus in the unit study. There's another one about the butterflies. Okay. This is a fiction book. If you haven't read any books on Francisco Jimenez, I highly, highly recommend. Okay, and then I have some nature books with activities. So see, I already put a little marker on there wherever I could find something about insects. I found a lot of things on ants too, so I think that's going to be another focus, ants. So I have that. And then this is a really good one to have on hand because it has several different activities for you to do. A lot of exploration, and it uses things that are very easy to find in your home already. So here we're going to do an insect habitat. And it has crafts, it has experiments, it has observations. And again, the butterfly life cycle right there. So this is a really good book to have. And I'm also going to integrate some social studies or, important people. And I found this book, and in this book, there is a lady that, right here it says, she proved that insects went through different stages. So since we're going to be talking about the life cycle of a butterfly, all the stages, then I thought that it would be super interesting, super cool to talk about her. So we're going to be talking about her. And, anytime that I can introduce the boys to a important woman in science, I will. All right. This one is super cool too. It's an Usborne book. It's in Spanish, and it is adventures, outdoor adventures. And I found this one where it tells you how to make a what do you call it? A jardín outside that is conducive to insects coming in to your backyard. And then I found this one too. And it also talks about life cycles and habitats for insects. All right, those are all the books that I found that I will be using. And then at Target, I found this that would be a really cool manipulative for them. They're little magnets, and it says that it's a STEM activity. It's a STEM activity, and it has some cards here for them to use, but they will be able to take them apart and play with them as we research. Okay, so those are the books. Now let me show you the workbooks or activity books that I found already in my home, because I just like to accumulate books, educational books, and all sorts of things. All right, so the first one is this one by Evan Moore, and I found they have tons of things here. Okay, let me see what page it is. Invertebrates, page 30. So they have a whole bunch of stuff. Like I can just print these off for my kids, and we are doing everything except for math. I switched math to English because that's what they were using in their public school before being homeschooled, and they're more familiar with terms, mathematical terms in English. So we're doing that in English, but everything else is in Spanish as much as I can. So this is all in English, but what I do is I just white out certain words and then I write them in Spanish and then just make a copy so both of them can have one. And for the books, if you can see that a lot of the books are in English, and what I do is I just add sticky notes with certain definitions or words we identify cognates to so that it's easy for them to go back and forth with both languages. Again, you see ants here, so they're going to be a focus in our unit. Of course, the life cycle. Insect cards. That's going to be really good to have. And then spiders aren't insects, but okay. And then it goes to ocean invertebrates, but we're just going to focus on insects on land. And then this one is, I really like this one because it's higher level questions. And look at what, let me show you. It has a whole section on bugs. And what it is, it's just different question cards that get you thinking, and they're all related to insects. So like this one, how would your life be different if you were the size of a bug? And then you can have them write about it. I usually like to just discuss, verbally discuss, because my kids aren't really into writing a lot, but we have really good discussions, so I can see how this is going to be super cool. So if you could be one insect for a week, which insect would you be and why? And it just has tons and tons. What would happen if bugs were as big as dogs? Just different types of things that gets them thinking. So I will be using this. And then I found this one. And it has all sorts of activities. It has math-related activities, social studies. It has poetry, it has art, it has science, it has language arts. And it even tells you like day by day what you can do. And it gives you several different books that you can use. For example, this one, The Very Hungry Caterpillar. So you can use The Very Hungry Caterpillar, and you can see right there that it gives you a plan. So on day 1, it tells you what you can do. On day 2, and so on. I'm not going to follow each thing like that because we do have a math and a language arts thing that we already do. So I'm mostly just wanting it for science and just for them to explore more their interest. So it has story prompts. Again, it has the butterfly there. So you can see that's why that's one of our big focuses. And let's see. I really like this one. How to make a thought web. So you can see they start off with a topic and then you just kind of spread out from there. So we might do something like that. And then it has other books that you can introduce them, the life cycle of a mosquito, that you can use. So I'm going to use that. Also, I found on Instagram another homeschool mom that I will link her below also. And she had beautiful resources on insects. And some of the ones that I found are these. I already printed them out. This is something that we're going to be using also. So that, look at those illustrations. Wow. So we're going to add a little bit of art. Here we're going to add a little bit of art as well. They divide that and then they try to recreate it by guiding themselves using those rectangles there. We will also be making some poems. And then I found a butterfly bingo. So we were using these. Okay, so those are all the things that we will be using in our unit study. So now that I went and looked at all the resources, I kind of have an idea of what I want to cover. And this is where this sheet comes in handy. So I put my topic, unit study, and then right here, I really like that it says main subjects. So what is your focus? What do you want to do? I already said math is not my main focus for the unit study because we do something for math. Language arts is really not our focus because we also have something for language arts. But my big focus will be science and history. Okay, so all of my activities will be related to science and history on insects. So it has a big project. It has field trips, recipes, documentaries and shows, hands-on activities, books or big book. So right here, our big project will be a bug book, but also I also thought about doing an insect collection. So we're going to get a shoebox. We're going to get a shoebox and we're going to put styrofoam in there, and we're going to, whenever we find any dead insects, we're going to pin them in our shoebox, in our styrofoam, and we're going to label it. So we're going to have to research and find out what type of insect it is, what the name is, and we will write it down and put it in our box, and then that way we will have a collection to see later. So I'm going to add that as a big project as well. In the bug book, basically we're going to be doing some a sheet of information on a certain bug. So whenever we're focusing on the butterfly, we will do a sheet on the butterfly. They can either draw, they can look at magazines and cut out different things that remind them about bugs. We can also draw the life cycle or anything related to butterflies that we learn. We'll go to that page, and then we will put all of our pages together and staple them into a book. So right here, I'm adding for the big project a bug book, and then I'm going to put insect collection. Okay, and now for the field trips, I have here that we're going to go to the Parrot Museum, or Perot, sorry, the Perot Museum, and we're going to do programs and events, and then we're going to click on Amaze Your Brain at Home. So if you have not heard of the Perot Museum's website, I highly recommend it. So I found it because I was looking for field trips for the kids, but they have a whole bunch of resources within the website, and one of them is it takes you to videos in YouTube or on YouTube, and they're all about things that you can do at home. And one of them is how to make traps for insects so that you can put them outside and then open them up the next day, and you guys can just look at all, have the kids explore the different types of insects that are at different locations within your area. So we did that yesterday. Today we're going to go look at them. I'll make sure and film some of that too because I want to show you guys later. But so one of the field trips is the Perot Museum. Now remember, field trips do not have to be just in person. Like you can also do field trips online or by researching. So we decided to do that. And then recipes, I just went to Pinterest and I looked at fun recipes for insects, and basically it's just like making little mini pancakes look into, you know, certain insects or a butterfly or whatever. So just be creative with that. Your kids can have fun with that. And then documentaries, I went to our accounts. I looked through Netflix. I looked through Discovery Plus. I looked through Disney Plus. And then I just found some options there. And there's a lot of things on bugs. So you do that. And then books, I didn't want to list all the books, so I just said the ones in the white basket. And then hands-on activities, backyard exploration, like I said, and we're going to start our bug collection. And I'm also going to be adding the task cards, you know, manipulatives like this, and we can also do them. I'm thinking of maybe using Play-Doh to do them, you know, the different types of insects, just anything that comes to mind that gets their hands going, it will work. So after I do all of this, I think, how long do I want my unit study to be? Usually I want to do them just about a month or so, because then it gets old, it gets tired, and then the kids start losing interest. So I'm taking a month to do this. So we just started this week, so we will end sometime in September. So I will divide up my ideas. So maybe one week we'll do butterflies, or 2 weeks we do butterflies, 2 weeks we do ants, 2 weeks we do this. So maybe I could do that. Let me write that down because I'm going to forget. So I'm going to put insect every 2 weeks. So maybe I can do butterfly for 2 weeks, ants for 2 weeks, and then I could end. That would take up the month. I could end that last couple of days. We could just go over our insects in our insect collection and talk about that as well. And then the hands-on activities, I don't do unit study every day because it gets to be too much for the kids, but I might do it 2 or 3 times a week. So I will divide up my activities for those days. I can also divide up my books on those days. It just depends on how many resources you have, how much time you want to spend, but just refer back to this. So your activities that you have planned here, just divide them up in the days or the weeks that you do unit studies. So after you do that, you can just put it all in your journal, or you can even put it in your planner. You know, you can put on certain days, we'll do this activity, on certain days, we'll do this activity. So you can do that as well. Just remember, a unit study can look however, because you're the one building it. Most importantly, this is the steps that you should take is just find your topic, find resources, okay, so that you can start brainstorming ideas, fill up your unit study planner page, and then after that, just divide up your activities in the time that you want to spend, and then just go have fun. That's basically the plan that I'm going to be following, just those simple steps. And if you have any other questions on any of the resources that I showed you, please reach out to me. Remember, if you are a bilingual family that is homeschooling also, remember that you can pretty much turn anything into, make it work into your lessons, even if it's in English. Just you can translate it, you can add little translations within, so leave the English and just put the Spanish. You can just have a verbal discussion on the second language, or whatever you think it's the easiest. But remember, all the resources, even if they are in another language, you can make them work in your homeschool. So, well, that's all I have to plan for my unit studies. I hope that it wasn't too confusing. That is how my brain works. It just goes all over the place. And I'm pretty sure I'm going to be switching some activities here and there, adding more resources if I find them. We may not go through all of the things. You know, it just all depends on how the kids are doing and the time that we're able to spend within our unit study. But the main thing is to give them time to explore, to give them time to be creative, and to learn while having fun and being outdoors and just making memories while we do our unit studies. So just remember that. Have fun and enjoy your unit studies. That is all I have for you today. I hope that you like this video. If you want to see more videos like this, just like and subscribe, and make sure that you hit the bell notification, and I will see you next time. Goodbye.